All right, well, let me get this shilling out of the way. And just guys be patient because I'm trying to be as fair-minded and as constructive as possible, but boy, Aaron always pushes me to the limit. So I've put up a lot of things on the lower tier for the channel members for extra material if you want to look at that. I'm going to put something up soon, which is big and fat and juicy. So if you want to get quote the maximum value of the channel membership, just wait a couple hours. It's coming. It's coming. But boy, and let me get the shilling for the other channels out of the way. Please sub and like to them. Okay, let us get right to it, because and let me do the brief background for people who are like confused, because nowadays I was going to do a whole essay on this itself. That there's just this thing with YouTubers. Granted, not all of them. I mean, I'm technically a YouTuber, but there is this whole now genre of YouTubers getting in trouble legally, going to jail, and cashing out. This has become a whole thing, guys. That people will deliberately get out there, act a nuisance, right? Get arrested and be like, yeah, yeah, rock and roll YouTubes. It's literally a whole thing. Now, granted, I'm going to be fair. Aaron Smith-Levin is not as bad as John Somale, right? Somale is probably one of the most notorious evil morons, just taking their camera and YouTube account and just terrorizing people. It got so bad, YouTube got rid of him. He's been kicked off various platforms, but he's still out there. So Aaron's not as bad as that, but so he's not Mr. Beast cringe level of defrauding tens of millions of people, but still not very good. Still very like hmm questionable. So he did this live from prison session with Marilyn on quote his channel. Okay, so let me get to the essentials. And when you think through what he said, this really didn't add up. I will admit there's at least some disturbing questions to be asked about Scientology, want to be fair. But overall, I was like, Again, this stuff is not adding up or making sense. So for those worried that Uranus, how is it, Uranus? How are you surviving? How are you doing in the prison? He's like, actually, it's okay. So we have two TVs. Guys, I'm not even locked up. It's like a big dorm. It's a big gymnasium. I'm back with the Greeks. It's just men and men in the showers. It's okay. I get to go outside. Okay. Well, since things are not so bad, why should you be let out? Dun dun dun. Well, there you go. But again, Aaron could be lying. But if things are so good, why should you be let go? Apparently, he's having the time of his life, guys. He's like, oh yeah, me and my noodles, delicioso. And even the bathroom situation is okay. Oh, okay. So since it's not so bad, it's not so bad. So, well, there you go. There you go. I also like how he let out that the only one to do a video call with him apparently has been Brooks. The white African American, white black leader, white Martin Luther King Jr., white Malcolm X, who's been lying, though to be fair, Brooks could be delusional that, guys, the cops lied to Uranus, so the injustice of the civil rights struggle continues. Bopa, my brothers. Yeah, Brooks, cops lying is not technically a crime, good or bad, unless they're deliberately going to entrap you into, trick you into committing a crime. That's not a thing, dummy. But anyway, that's a whole other kettle of fish with Brooks and his attempt to hang on to the Aaron Smith-Levin grift. And, it is what it is. Guys, listen, Aaron has a way bigger channel than I do, so it is what it is. People are just gravitating to the channel to make money. It is what it is. But I hate the whole bark. I, Brooks, cry for the African slavery of Uranus. Yeah, he's not Nelson Mandela. Get over that. Okay, so further confessiones from the carcel by Uranus. So he's saying that there's some legal monkey business because he doesn't even have a date yet for his trial from the first incident. They're also not yet letting him post bail for the second incident. So there's two incidents. One is him throwing the powder, right? And that weird thing where he was trespassing and got his foot stuck in the door, and he had a tussle with one of the security people. And there you go. So they haven't really given him the ability to post bail for the second incident. So that's why he's kind of in this legal limbo. And there we are. Now, again, I hate Aaron. I don't like him. And I would have to admit that knowing what we know now, the guy is a menace. He is a physical threat. However, we should accord right as best as possible the laws to punishment. Although I think probably the best punishment for Aaron, frankly, be give him a 30-year sentence in a mental hospital and make sure he's definitely chained up because the guy's dangerous. I would say probably it would make more sense to put him in like a halfway house, but still put him in quote prison for a couple of weeks. But still, beyond a certain point, you're like, yeah. Again, it's only been we're about to get to 1 week with Aaron in prison. I would say it's a little weird and fuzzy if after a couple of weeks there's still nothing in terms of setting a date for the trial. So that seems a little suspicious. No doubt about that. However, this guy's not an angel, and despite his like always talking like I'm a little wounded rabbit. I'm a little wounded rabbit. And listen, guys, I try to be fair, but and again, in fairness to Aaron, this is not him, but there's this recent thing with Alison Mack where she's also trying to revise her history with Nexium, right? That fascist cult, and trying to be like, yeah, things happen. I realize I did the bad thing, but I'm not a bad person. You know how long she served, guys? She served less than 2 years in prison, and Keith Raniere, but you can say whatever you want, he's evil, the devil, he's getting 120 years in prison. And you're like, something's not adding up here. And now she's out of prison saying, guys, really, it's okay. It's okay now. It's okay. I mean, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I did the fascism and everything. So it's just really upsetting me that these moronic fascists commit the crime. We know they commit the crime, and they're like, when you think about it, I'm the real victim here. I'm like, really? Really? So, and I find it interesting that Aaron is coyly hypothesizing, saying, gotcha, at worst, okay, you don't like my videos, you think I committed 2 crimes. I mean, really, it's powders. Well, there's some problems here. I'll put aside the obvious hypocrisy, like with DOA, and you could go back to the videos as far as they've not been taken down. He's laughing maliciously, saying, you got to jail, Scottish. You got to jail now, you trespasser, you legal breaker, you law breaker. And there he was standing up for the Church of Scientology, saying, guys, ditch the laws. I have no choice. I'm Iranist. And like, what did DOA do that upset him so much? Well, at one point, it got pretty silly. And again, depends on your religious sensibility. He was trashing a wreath, like a Christmas wreath, because, the Scientologists are trying to pass off their fraud, saying, we're just good Christians. And it got really silly. Apparently, that's not really even their wreath. But Aaron's like, oh, that poor Christmas wreath. Guys, the law is the law. He must go to jail. So with DOA, even though, did he even assault someone? He wasn't assaulting a Scientologist, which Aaron did. He was assaulting a barrier and a Christmas wreath. Now, I'm from that old school of protesting from the anti-Iraq days where, generally speaking, don't break the law, right? You want to look better for the cameras. Right? It's just a tactical thing. Nonviolence does work. There's actually good data here, right? Even if you don't believe in nonviolence, it's just good as a tactic, right? Okay, so first of all, incredible hypocrisy vis-a-vis DOA, right? There, the maximum sentence should always be given. But with Aaron, guys, really, I did nothing wrong. No, Aaron, you are on camera committing 2 crimes. One of them is kind of weird. We can't see everything that happened, but really, you're not innocent. Also, even if we take Scott out, just theoretically, I mean, and you're on record saying this, so this is a problem for you. Some people say, yeah, but these weren't so bad. But Aaron, when his enemies are in trouble, say, you, no mercy. You got away to jail, ZDT, DOAs. Guys, this is not a nice guy. He would put Dodge in jail in 2 seconds. He would put everyone in jail in 2 seconds if he could get away with it. So with his enemies or opponents, he will always say, they go to jail maximum term. Even if they're totally innocent, he wouldn't care. So it's like, okay, well, going with the logic of Aaronis, by his own standard, he should go to jail for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That's his own standard. So, no, this is just a fraud. Him like, guys, mistakes were made. But once I get out, everything will be beautiful and nice and delish. I'm just a little rabbit. I got caught in a trap. I don't know what happened. No, what happened is you were imitating John Somale, Streets LA, and these YouTubers getting out and acting like morons with cameras to make money. And you got, like a lot of them, you got caught committing crimes, and now that you're in jail, you're like, yeah, I don't know. I'm such an innocent. I don't know what happened. Right, right. Well, some people will still buy the innocent act, but at this point, I'm like, yeah, you've been given like 20 chances. And since apparently prison and jail is so good for you, you can stay there. And there you go. Bye.